The Bakersfield Police Department has new equipment specifically designed to help officers train for intense and important situations. Eyewitness News anchor Stacy Rasmussen was able to try it to see why it's so helpful and see if she has the skills to be a police officer. Now, we do want to warn you, although this is not real and all a training simulation, there are some graphic videos and depictions that can be disturbing for some.
Law enforcement has to respond to dangerous calls that threaten their lives and the lives of others around them on a daily basis. How they respond to situations like that, where they have less than a second to make a decision on what to do, can be the difference between life and death. The Bakersfield Police Department got a new high-tech training gadget to make sure that they're equipped to handle these calls.
It has 5 different screens that officers stand in the middle of, and they have to react to whatever is displayed on the screens here in front of them.
Sergeant Bishop is talking about the Virtua 300, which is an interactive experience that responds to their commands and forces them to make quick decisions.
We can introduce them to active shooters, very dynamic situations, but also give them scenarios where they have to deal with certain types of the population, where they might have to deal with vulnerable populations, people with mental disabilities, homeless individuals, things of that sort.
Depending on how well the officers do, the outcome of the scenario changes.
If they're communicating very well and they're doing a really good job at de-escalation, then they might get a different outcome versus someone who's not communicating as well, and they might end up having to use force or a more forceful response.
Almost every officer has already gone through the training, but there are hundreds of different scenarios available, meaning the officers have plenty of different options to cycle through for training purposes as the years go on.
You might be seeing a rise in burglaries and how the officers are responding, so we can have them come through and experience how to go through more burglary type of calls. Or if we're seeing issues on traffic stops and how officers are interacting with the community in traffic stops, we can put them through traffic stop scenarios to make sure that they're performing the way that we expect them to.
So I wanted to compare how well myself, a regular civilian, would do at this compared to an officer who has years of experience and training. And let me tell you, it's much harder than it looks.
Why were you speeding? Don't come out. Stop, hold back.
I had to shoot because my communication skills were not very good, but the officer was able to have a less lethal outcome.
Hey, I'm Officer Colossus with Bakersfield Police. Stay in the car for me, all right?
F you, I'm not doing anything wrong.
Hey, stay back. Don't do it. Taser, taser.
I did a lot more scenarios, and I learned that I laugh when I get nervous, which is not a great trait.
Put the block down, huh? Yeah, I'll put the block down.
I don't think I was supposed to do that.
The officers rightly pointed out my nervous habit would not be tolerated on the job, and that it would be helpful if I actually knew how to work some of my equipment, specifically my taser.
You didn't turn it on, actually. You just kept pointing it at them, so you might need to turn it on.
Also, in other scenarios, I shot my backup and a hostage, so I think I'm going to stick to my news job. But at the end of every scenario, you get to look at where your shot hit, how close the suspect was to you, and you have to justify why you responded the way you did.
I didn't comply with my commands. He was already being verbally aggressive with me, and then he started charging at me. Once he started charging at me, he had his fists clenched when he stopped, and he started saying to shoot me. He was showing assaultive behavior towards me.
The big thing that we'll get out of it is the debrief with the officers afterwards, where we make them explain their actions, what force options were available to them, why they used one versus the other.
Overall, what I learned from this is that I'll leave the hard work to the officers. But if you think you could do better than me, BPD has a smaller, travel-sized version of this that you can try at some of the local community events, including at the fair this year. In Bakersfield, Stacy Rasmussen, Eyewitness News.
Hi, I'm Rochelle Murcia with Eyewitness News Bakersfield Now on YouTube. Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel where we have tons of great content to choose from. While you're here, go ahead and click on the subscribe button right there. That way you can stay up to date on all the things related within Kern County. Thanks for watching.